What's going on YouTube? The Jamerin here. I'm bringing you some World of Tanks gameplay, and today I have the pleasure of showing you guys, in my opinion, probably one of the best matches I've had in a long time. Um, it's not like a high damage game, but I'm not completely spoil it. But it's it was an awesome game. I'm playing with Liger Slayer and Old Smoke. Old Smoke, he's been in a couple of my videos. I played with him, platooned with him quite a bit over the weekend. Liger Slayer is another one of my friends that I platoon with as well. So this was one day. I believe we were just grinding our tier 8s, kind of grinding tier 8s, grinding whatever little tanks we had, and also grinding, credit grinding as well too. So in this match, Old Smoke is in his T34-2, I believe. Well, he's in one of his premium tanks, and as well as Liger Slayer is in his one of his premium tanks as well. And I just decided to choose my tier 6 Achilles. As I'm like, well, I just stay behind them and make sure I keep myself a distance where I can't be spotted, but I'm able to at least take shots on vehicles. Um, so I know, so this isn't like matchmaking just screwing me over. This is me fully aware that at most I'm going to be in a tier 9 battle with their preferential matchmaking on their premium tanks. So, sure enough, if you saw that quick little glimpse, I just took a quick glimpse, see what was there. There are tier 9 vehicles. This is a tier 9 game, and I'm in tier 6. Um, so you could say it's a failed platoon-ish. Two of my vehicles are at least in a position where they can do damage to those vehicles and, at least brawl it out with some of them, especially my buddy Liger Slayer is in the Super Pershing, and oh no, he's in his Freedom, but same thing. And yep, Old Smoke is in his T34-3. So yeah, where I'm moving up, I found this nice little position in the back. It is at the believe 0 line, where I'm able to sit back and I use my little notifications on the screen where I can see where it is where I can be spotted from, which is that little dotted line. So I make sure I stay just shy of that when people come around the corner, because usually the heavy tanks from the other team will actually pull up all the way to there so I can actually see them. And with my camo, I can't be seen even if I shoot because I'm so far away. They're still not going to be able to see. They'll see my round coming, but they won't know my exact position unless they're paying attention to when I shoot. So sure enough, here comes some tanks. T95 E2 decides to come around the corner, starts poking his head out. I hold off my shot. I know that, especially at that angle, I'm going to bounce. So I continue waiting to see if anything else kind of shows up. He's spotting to see what's coming around the corner from our side. And there's the fatherland. So I decided to take my chances. He's angled well enough where I can hit him, but I just can't get it. Hitting his tracks, hitting his space armor. I'm hitting his tracks, hopefully hoping that maybe my team will be able to penetrate him. It doesn't happen, so I switch my attention to the IS-3 because he seems to want to rush. He must think that they outnumber us, so he tries to push. But his side of the team doesn't feel the same way as he does. So I missed another shot on IS-3, but he's angled enough where I can shoot him, and I switched to APCR just to make sure that I'm going to penetrate. Try against the Super Pershing. I'm not going to penetrate anywhere on the front of that unless he turns to the side. So if somebody tracks the IS-3, and I continue to pelt him, and I believe the M103 finishes him off. Yep. Yep. 103 does. So I switched to that KV5 or the Goranich, I think is what it's called. Trying to shoot that little R2D2 tank, but my shots are just penetrating. So I decided to switch back to AP rounds instead of using up all my APCR rounds. So I'm finally going to start making some damage. I track the Super Pershing, and he is at an angle where I can overmatch his armor. So I track him, I ammo rack him, and I continue to do whatever damage I can until my team decides to finish him off. So this tank is so awesome. I love the Achilles. I love playing this tank destroyer. It's pretty much the Hellcat, except I don't think you get the big old gun as the Hellcat. This is the top gun. It is a 17 pounder, I believe, gun. 150 alpha damage and 171 penetration as AP rounds, and I believe like 198 on the APCR, or 200, a little over 200. But it's 13 point something rounds per minute. So you're able to do some pretty good DPM on this tank as a tier 6. So yeah, it's an awesome tank. I actually tried to grind through the Archer. That tank was just too slow and not reliable enough. It gets this gun, but I didn't like the speed of it. So I free X speed my way into the Achilles, and once I got the Achilles, I loved it. It's such an awesome little tank. It's an awesome little tank destroyer at tier 6. It's not the best tier 6 tank destroyer, obviously, but it's a lot of fun, and you can make, any tier, just unhappy with you. So I tell my buddy Old Smoke to hold off shooting him, because I'll finish him off so he doesn't have to waste around one of those big rounds that he has, because his alpha damage on that vehicle I think is like 400 at tier 8, which is awesome. It's not it's a high alpha damage but low reload on it, slow reload. But his tank's awesome too. That's an awesome little tank, T-34-3. So I am out of AP rounds. I'm down to 2 APCR rounds and 6 HC rounds. So at this point, I can no longer sit back and snipe. I need to be more aggressive. I'm pretty much used. There's nothing I really can kill unless it's a low health vehicle. So I decided to do the next best thing, which is to spot for my team, which is more what that T-49 is doing anyways. I don't know what he's doing. He's deciding to snipe or something. Whatever. I don't know. So I sit in this vehicle in this little open spot, seeing if I can spot anything with my extended view range from my binoculars. With this vehicle, since it's a turret tank destroyer, I run camouflage and binoculars, because even with your fire, your binoculars stay on. You lose your camo a little bit, but then it'll come right back. So that's why I use camouflage net with this vehicle. At this point, I actually have the Challenger already. This is I got it a few days after this, and I was able to actually, I believe, get my first mark of excellence on this vehicle on the Achilles in like 30 some matches. It was awesome. I love this tank so much. And there you go, making my last few rounds be worth something. Take out the Chiri, which is the tier 7, I believe, Japanese tank. So Type 61, I believe the T-30 is going to start pushing up on him, so I decide there's no point in me being there. I know that there's tank destroyers up on the ridge line across the field, so I need to get in position to make sure I can spot for my team. And also I'm pretty sure it's the light tank at this point. I'm quite positive when I was playing this game. I'm like, oh, light tank's on the base. Probably should head back. And I'm fast enough to get back and disrupt the cap if need be, or at least force him off. But I believe our light tank, our T-49, finally starts doing something and is able to get back in time to force that Bulldog off of our base. I'm going to try to shoot my last APCR round at him, and I completely missed. I missed that shot so bad. I was so angry when I missed that shot, because I'm like, oh, I need to make these shots count. Especially as APCR. It's my premium rounds. But you know what? That's okay. I have 6 rounds of HE, and I can for sure penetrate anywhere on that Bulldog with HE rounds. It's got such crap armor anyways, but it's fast, like it's about to get over the ridge. And I can't believe I snapshot that at the last minute. So just give him a little love tap, right? Little reach for love, and be like, no, come back. And he gets away, obviously. But I'm going to push up on this ridge line to make sure I can spot the last 2 tank destroyers. I know the Type 69 is still facing off against the team down there. So I run into the Waffle, smack him. I believe I tracked him. Didn't do much damage because I hit the tracks. But he's a light vehicle, so I'm able to hit him fully with my HE. But then I take a huge hit from the T-30, and I'm playing a dangerous game here. Waffle is waiting for me. Unfortunately for him, he misses, and my team's able to finish him up and start doing damage to him. And I'm pretty sure they start doing damage to that T30, making sure he makes sure he doesn't come back anymore. So I'm gonna try to use my last rounds on this bulldog, and he ducks behind the ridge. So I am no longer able to see him, or I'm able to see, yeah, no longer able to see him for a second there, and I move on. I'm pretty sure I'm like, oh, he's heading right into the mouth of my team, so I decided to push up, making sure this T30 stays spotted for the tanks behind me, and see if I was going to get another side shot, at least a side shot in Type 61. Didn't happen, but I want to make sure that T30 stays spotted for as much and as long as possible. So there you go. He gets spotted. He starts aiming at me, so I make sure I back off where he can't aim at me. And I think my team's going to make him pay here for a second because they get side shots on him. Sure enough, they make him pay. So once again, I'm pushing up, making sure I can spot for my team. Because at this point, at one, not much. I'm not going to do much damage to that T30. There's no way. I don't think I can one-shot him right now with my little HE round. And if I hit the tracks, then it's just going to eat it, and I'm not going to get anything. Luckily for me, the T49 does a hero move after not doing much this game. At least I didn't see him do much. He finishes them off finally, T30. So then I go where the army already normally sits on this match, which a lot of times they'll sit in the A1, A2 kind of area. There's a hill and some flat land, and the only way you can actually spot them is if you come along the A line all the way up until you get to A3, and then you can start spotting behind it, or at least A2. But there's rocks and stuff for them to hide. It's a really good spot for Artie, but it's really predictable, which obviously I didn't find him here, so he was in a weird spot. I believe one of our tank destroyers is able to find him. I head back. I think chances are probably not going to get to him, so Artie takes out our T25 too, but he still has the M103 and I believe, yep, the T30 on top of the hill. So that's it. That's the last kill, guys. Like I always say, you can devastate tanks even as a tier 6 in a tier 9 match as a bottom tier tank, a little underdog. 3100 damage, 1600 assisted with my spotting. I get my first marks of excellence with this game. As always, guys, leave a like down below, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.